Okay, so I'm going to talk you through how to find your good sources for your speech. Okay, everybody with me? We're all in the school library page right now. Everybody with me so far? We're on the My Elmbrook. We clicked on our school library page. Open that up. In the center of the page here, there's this grid. We're going to click on articles from periodicals because that's what we want. Okay, from here, my most familiar one is EBSCO, so I'm going to start there, but there are other ones that you can use. That's what I'm going to use for now. Let's just walk through it with me, okay? Okay, I'm going to select Academic Search Premier, the first one, and then I'm going to hit continue. All right. And then before I just jump right into it and put my topic in there, I'm going to click on Advanced Search on the bottom. Do you see that? Do I need to go back? Okay. Instead of just putting your topic in there, click Advanced Search on the bottom underneath. Okay. There's a couple reasons that we do this. The first and probably most significant one is that if you scroll down just a little bit here, you want to click on this box that says full text. Okay, the reason that we have that is because these databases are from real articles from newspapers, journals, magazines, and some of them our school subscribes to, so we get them electronically, and some of them they don't. Okay, so maybe we have and I'm just taking a wild guess here. Maybe we have a subscription to the New York Times, but we don't have Wall Street Journal. When you do a search without clicking on the full text, it will give you everything that relates, and it might give you an article to the Wall Street Journal that maybe our school doesn't have a subscription to. So it's kind of like telling you, we don't have that book here, but the Pewaukee Public Library has it. Do you want us to order it for you? You don't want to mess around with ordering or trying to track down anything that isn't super convenient. So if you just click on that full text, it won't give you any of the options that you can't actually see. So it'll save you some frustration in the long run if you click that box. Then we're going to go up here and we're going to do a search. And I'm going to do the TV show Bewitched. Okay, so I'm put in Bewitched there. But then I will also want specific information maybe about one of the characters that would help me to narrow the search. So I'm going to put in Elizabeth Montgomery, who plays Samantha, right? And then let's say there was something like maybe there's a hot new song that's out that Beyonce sings, and it's called Bewitched. And I don't want anything that has anything to do with Beyonce's song in my search, because that's just getting in the way. I'm getting too many things that have references to that. So then I'm going to click on Not. And here I'm going to write Beyonce. And that would take out anything that references Beyonce. So if you have something that's kind of like closely connected and you don't want any of that stuff in your search, put in the Not, and then you can do that. You can also put something in just the title. Like if you want things that are just going to have in the title, the word Bewitched on it. If it's something kind of specific like that. I'm not going to change that for this one, but then I'm just going to go to search, see what we find. Probably didn't have to rule out anything with Beyonce because I don't think there's any connection, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so I have 21 possible articles. If you're like me, you don't want to read 21 articles to figure out if they're good, right? And chances are whatever you're searching, you're going to have more like 10,000 articles because I did a pretty specific search. So one way to do it is to do a more narrow search. If you can get rid of something and be more specific in your searching. But the other thing I want to show you is to come over here. Did everybody get some results with their topic? Everybody's got a list like this that you can check out. Over here with this magnifying glass, this is super important. If you hover on this you don't click on it, but you just hover on the magnifying glass and then you scroll down. It's something called an abstract. An abstract is just a fancy word for a summary. So it tells you what the gist of this article is all about. So you don't have to read the whole thing. I can read 2 lines to decide if that's going to be a good article for me or not, instead of actually opening up the whole article and reading through it and then making a decision. This helps you kind of cut to the chase and decide if it's a good one or not. But let's say I decided this is a good one, which is awesome because it's got the full text there because I already clicked on that box that said only the full text ones. So if I open this up, and here's my awesome article, which is not so awesome because it's just a tiny little blurb in People magazine. But let's say it was a good one. I would come over here on this side, and this is why going to the databases is absolutely 100% your friend. Way easier than Google, what I'm going to show you right now. If you click on this button right here that says cite, in the center, you're going to scroll down and go to MLA, right? MLA 9th edition. And all I'm going to do is copy that. And then I'm going to open up a new Google Doc and I'm going to plunk it right into it. Okay, that's saving my works cited, my actual MLA citation for later on when I have to actually cite my source. Google will not do this for you automatically. If I just did a Google search for Bewitched and Elizabeth Montgomery, I'd find lots of articles, but I would have to put all of this information together on my own. Okay, now that I've said that, I'm going to be a little bit disingenuous and show you. Let's say I do a Google search, right? I'm going to put in Bewitched and Elizabeth Montgomery. Pops up right there because it's so popular a search. They're all together, right? And I've got all kinds of articles I can tap into here, right? So I scroll down and I'm like, oh, this one looks good. It's actually called Bewitched and Elizabeth Montgomery. That could have some really good information in it. And that's fine. I'm not saying anything against web sources at all. Sometimes they're sketchy, but a lot of times there's good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. And I'm like, yeah, this has some really good stuff. Maybe it does or doesn't. I don't know. But let's say I decide I really like this one. Okay, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to copy the URL. Okay, then I'm going to open a new tab. And as a writer, I can tell you I use this one all the time and it's pretty reliable. It's called Citation Machine. Oops. Citation Machine. Okay, I'm going to click on MLA because that's what we want. And from there, it's going to do it for me. It's a little bit more work than on a database. Okay, but from there, I'm going to click website. And right here, I've already got it saved. So I'm going to plunk that URL right there. I'm going to hit search. There's a few more steps to this one than there is on the databases, but it will do it for you. Okay, and then I'm going to click search. Oh, sorry, I'm going to click cite. Getting closer. I'm going to click continue. And I'm going to do complete citation. Loading. All right, and there it does it. So I'm going to copy the citation. And again, I'm going to plop it right into my Google document. So it does it for me. Okay, so both ways, both the databases and on Google, you can get the MLA citation. You don't have to put all of that stuff together on your own. Okay, but it's a little bit easier when you use the databases than it is on Google. But there might be really good stuff on Google that you want to use, and so that's fine. All right, questions on how to do this? Okay, so for you, you're going to take Cornell notes. You need to have at least 2 sources that are not websites. So you could find all 4 right on that database and be done. You might decide you wanted to find some on Google, especially if you're doing something that's like, it has a specific website devoted to it, where you feel like there's really good information on that website that you want to use. The official website of something. It totally makes sense that you would want to tap into that for an info speech. So you're gonna take notes on all 4 articles. Okay, anybody unfamiliar with Cornell notes and how to do them? Anybody have no idea what I'm talking about? Okay, so I'll spend some time with you. So Cornell notes, I've got sheets right here. They're also linked electronically on the Week at a Glance. Okay, if you prefer to type them rather than writing them, you can do that. So these are 4 database ones, but all the different types are on the Week at a Glance. So if you have a specific website one or an actual newspaper. Question? Yeah. You can take your own, but they need to have all the elements of the Cornell notes with the guiding questions. I'm not so much into guiding questions as I want some headings on the side, like sub-captions of where you're going with this, right? And then some kind of a summary at the very bottom. So you need the MLA citation, which I just showed you how to get. And again, I would not physically hand write that ever. That's a complete waste of your time. I would electronically pop it into a Google Doc, either put it on here electronically or literally print it, cut it, staple it, but don't handwrite it because that's a lot of unnecessary work. Make sense? So if you're using something other than a database, those are linked on the Week at a Glance. If you want physical copies of database ones, they're here. You can take as many as you'd like. You're going to need four total sources, and then you upload those onto Canvas when they're ready to go. Questions? We're just ready? All right, I'm going to stop this recording then. So